So Ian goes out onto the streets, and he looks for people that could maybe have an active warrant out for their arrest. And then he approaches those people and says, hey, let's have a little conversation. We want to talk to you and see whether or not you're actually on the run from the law right now. And one of these people does. It's our job collectively to try to figure this out. If you want to weigh in, would love to have your opinion. 833-YO-DUMMY. You can call or text us anytime. So was there any particular spot where you encountered all these individuals? Because I know the past couple of weeks you've just been sort of approaching people that many times are like asleep on the side of the road or outside of a bar. But what do we have this week?
No one asleep this week, Dave. We had a lot going on over the weekend, Dave. Lots to do here, so just kind of throughout the city. Some bad parts, some okay parts, some really, really good parts.
Okay, interesting. So you talked with three people. We have Bryan, Henry, and Steve, and only one has an active warrant. Let's start with Bryan today, and we're trying to figure out if this guy sounds like he has an active warrant out for his arrest. Here we go.
All right, we're playing Who's Got the Warrant. Do you want to give your name?
Bryan.
All right, Bryan, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you? What do you do for a living? Are you single, married, divorced? And do you play golf?
I'm 44. I do not play golf, and I'm self-employed.
Have you ever been arrested before?
Yes.
Multiple arrests?
Yes.
More than 10 arrests?
Yes.
More than 50 arrests?
Yes.
Oh, geez, Bryan, you ever done time, man?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. You've been arrested more than 50 times?
Just a little bit.
Where did you encounter Bryan?
Outside and in and out.
Do we know if it was Bryan with an I or a Y? Because I have a feeling if it's Bryan with a Y, definitely
On the run from the cops, no question.
Tony,
yeah.
I let you down. I didn't ask that. Sorry,
What did you
man.
feel he was? Okay.
Okay.
Fair,
Yes.
fair.
Could you give us a bit of a description of what he looked like?
He looked like Zach Galifianakis, but on a bender.
That is so.
On a bender.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like
he was wearing knockoff Oakleys again. I don't know why I'm interviewing a bunch of people with knockoff Oakleys.
Yeah,
Hey, you ever priced out Oakleys?
They're
They're expensive.
Very expensive.
They're expensive and underrated.
And worth the value. Here we go. On to number two.
This is probably one of the best voices we will ever hear on Who's Got the Warrant.
Oh, really?
Yes, this is
Okay.
Henry.
Okay, let's meet Henry.
All right, we're playing Who's Got the Warrant. Now, sir, do you want to give your name?
My name is Henry.
Are you single, married, divorced? What do you do for a living? And do you play golf?
I played putt-putt golf at one time, but that's been a long time ago.
Now, have you ever been arrested before?
Plenty of time.
Oh, man. All right, plenty of times. Let's see. Over 10?
I'll say so.
Have you ever done time?
About 7 years. Armed robbery, assault, kidnapping.
Oh!
Okay.
I would have loved to see your face.
That was Henry.
I was not
Henry
ready for
said
that finish. Wow.
Henry had some soul to his voice.
I mean, it started out with like armed robbery, you're like bad, and assault, you're like okay, also very bad.
But kidnapping, Dave, to be fair, could you just be holding somebody in a room against their will?
Right, which is very, very.
I don't
very
like
bad.
talking to kidnappers.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
there's
fair.
a difference between that kind of kidnapping and like grabbing somebody and taking them somewhere. I mean,
Also,
just to split
I feel
hairs.
like if you were, the sort of person who got arrested for kidnapping, but it was just like you had somebody in the car with you when you were running from the cops, and they said they didn't want to be there, sort of thing.
You barricade yourself in a place.
Right, like that. I don't feel like you would add that to your list of reasons why you've been arrested.
I think that
I feel like if
Henry,
you're dropping kidnapping, like that's some serious stuff.
I feel like Henry has learned his lesson and has learned from his experience of
How
armed
did you
robbery.
get that out of?
I just can hear it in his voice.
Because
so
he played
I am-
putt-putt one time.
He did play putt-putt one time.
You only get to play putt-putt when you are in the process of reforming.
He beat that windmill's ass. So I think Henry does not have the warrant out of the two that we've heard so far between Bryan and Henry. Henry does
So
not
you're
have the warrant.
more of a Bryan lean
I'm leaning
here.
more towards Bryan
Okay.
at this point.
Okay.
We got to hear number 3, though.
Yeah, third and final one, and this is Unpleasant Steve.
Do you want to give your name?
Steve.
Hey, Steve. Steve, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you? What do you do for a living? Are you single, married, divorced, and do you play golf?
41. I'm single.
You
Can't
ever,
afford to play golf.
have you ever been
I
arrested
took a
before?
golf club up my one time.
Okay, so you have been arrested.
Hell yeah.
How many times?
A couple.
Oh, so he was just disrespectful. He was just chomping in the microphone, taking what you were saying and spinning it to some like
He
smart
sounds like
aleck.
a prick, for real.
Yeah. I don't
Cool
know, I don't
black
know.
flag tattoo, man.
What was he doing? Was he eating?
He was eating In-N-Out.
You were
You were
just...
But
in
not
and
outside
out.
the In-N-Out in which I met Bryan. This was a separate area,
Ah,
and he just had a
interesting.
bag of In-N-Out. He was
In-N-Out
also
culture is weird to me.
he was also wearing kind of how can I put that?
Jorts?
Yeah. He was wearing just like kind of leopard jorts, which
Leopard
were weird.
jorts.
Like
Yeah.
biker shorts?
And you had that kind of attitude, and you're wearing Leopard jorts?
He wanted the attention.
Okay.
I can get that.
Only one of these people has an active warrant out for their arrest. The dramatic conclusion for Who's Got the Warrant coming up next. So we have been introduced to 3 individuals. Only one of them has an active warrant out for their arrest. And just to quickly summarize, Bryan seemed very suspect to Mahoney. He looked like Zach Galifianakis on a bender, if that's possible. Ian met him outside of an In-N-Out, and he said that he has been arrested more than 50 times. Henry, on the other hand, the second contestant, has also been arrested a number of times for some really serious stuff.
Did some serious time, 7 years.
Kidnapping, assaults, armed robbery, all that stuff. I mean, that's heavy. And then you had Steve, who was just kind of dismissive.
Who's a prick.
A wanker. Yeah, he's just
but
wasn't a nice
has
guy.
been arrested in the past.
I
don't think it's Steve. I think that Steve would pretend like he's done some time, but really he's just posing. I don't think he actually has a warrant right now.
I'm not liking Steve at all, but I also feel like even if he did, he would lie to Ian just because this guy's a prick. So I'm excluding Steve as well. So
I am on board for excluding Steve. Audrey?
Cosign.
Okay, here we go. Let's see if we are correct. Steve eliminating does not have a warrant.
Do you currently have an active warrant out for your arrest right now?
You look like a narc.
Do you have an active warrant out for your arrest?
Nah.
Okay.
He called you a narc, Ian?
He called me a narc, which is okay.
I feel
I'm rubber,
like-
he's glue.
I feel like you should narc him out. Like, I look like that, so maybe now you're going to treat me that way. I will be that way.
Should I then
he's not-
impersonate a police officer and then start arresting people? Put
No,
them in
I
the back of
mean,
my
but
2018 Honda CRV and just drive them somewhere?
Citizen's arrest. Yes, absolutely.
Leave him in the desert.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I know where a hole is.
Oh, my God.
You want to kill the guy now?
No, I'm just saying.
Let's throw him off that same bridge as the other guy. All right, Mahoney's
right.
always just kill him on the spot. All right, so
Save
Steve does
taxpayer
not have a
dollars.
warrant. That means it all comes down to Bryan and Henry.
I'm going with Bryan. Personally, I think he just rubbed me the wrong way, and I feel like it's going to be something stupid like jaywalking or trespassing.
What do you think, Dave?
I mean, Bryan, the description of Bryan is what really gets me. If he looks like Zach Galifianakis on a bender, that seems very much like somebody who would have an active warrant out for their arrest right now.
I'm going Henry.
You're going Henry.
I feel like
Henry's
if
done
you've got that
serious
big of a
stuff.
rap sheet, like
Yeah.
I feel like you and the way that he just so is nonchalant about it makes me feel like he is a reoccurring in and out of jail
Always offending.
type
huh?
of criminal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going Henry, despite his fantastic voice.
Dave?
Okay. I think it's Bryan. I mean, oh God, that's tough.
Pick one.
It's tough.
Bryan or Henry?
I'm gonna go Bryan. I think the first guy. So Mahoney and I are both going Bryan. Audrey is going Henry. Let's find out since it's 2-1. We're gonna try to eliminate Henry here, Mahoney. We might be incorrect. Audrey for the win.
Do you currently have an active warrant out for your arrest right now?
I seriously doubt it.
I seriously doubt it.
All
Yes.
right, he
That
is a
good news
reformed
for
man.
us.
Wow. Just got a beautiful voice.
And that means it is Bryan that has the warrant. Let's have a listen.
Do you currently have an active warrant out for your arrest right now?
Yes, I do.
For what?
They're traffic tickets. I got 3 of them.
What were you doing? Double parked?
No, speeding.
You speed demon. Well, you're slowed down now, right?
Yes, sir.
My man. I see your bicycle over there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so surprised to find out he has a car.
Well, he doesn't anymore because he has his bicycle outside the In-N-Out.
So he did have a car and then lost it and got it. Yeah. Well done, Mahoney. You got it right.
That's right. We sniffed another one out, Dave.
Bryan with a Y. Guilty.